I'm going to show you something called unit test automation. Okay, I'll be going to another machine. Okay, then okay, give me a second. So we'll be doing a typical white box, I would say, unit test automation, because doing unit testing is a big trouble again and again and again. Someone is asking, can you share your office in Bangalore address? Yeah, go to softsmith.com. Go to, I'm just sending in the chat. You will see the address so that you can reach us in our office, right? Selenium Neoload test estimation metrics will be uploaded over this weekend, including this webinar. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to automate unit testing. For 1 second, I am passing the screen. I'll be coming back to you. Hold on a screen. Okay. Okay. You stay here. Okay. Hold on a second. I will be right. Now, what I'm going to show you, I'm back to this. I'm opening the screen once again. Okay. If you look here in this one, I have created a class, employee management. This is a class. The class is employee details. This is the namespace. This is written in C#. Again, the reason why I chose different languages in this white box testing is languages, they do not matter. Concept does matter. Whether it is C++ or Java or C#, if you get the concepts right, you can nail the tools and languages very, very easily. This employee details class has got many functions. For example, I have got employee details load employees, something like this. Now internally it is using something called manage employee. Okay, right, and it uses add employee. So in add employee, you create a new employee details in the database. Then under manage employee, it says get all the employee details. Now I am going to this add employee screen. It's a screen CS, right? Then there is an add employee.cs. It is talking about creating this and then passing some parameters. Okay. Now, can I run this now? Which one? So I am going to run this now. How to add an employee? Okay. Hold on a second. There are some minor build errors as usual. Okay. So I'm going to comment something, then I'm going to run this one. Okay. So when I run this, I will try to show how to add an employee. Right. Just click this. I click this, it shows add employee code. Now I'm saying A, B, C, employee name, Naga, designation VP, salary, let us say 100 or say 1000. I say save. It said record inserted successfully. Close. Now it adds a record. Correct? Now I close this. So whenever I run this, it loads the employee details, then it inserts record details through add employee. My aim is I want to check the add employee, right? That portion as part of a unit test. How will a unit test? Can someone give me a suggestion? Okay. Finally, it is this class, right? Manage employee and then add employee details, right? This method is the one that finally inserts the record, correct? So I don't need the UI. If I straight away call this method and then run this, obviously it is going to work. So how will I do that? So typically unit test automation is do not depend on the UI but directly code, right? And then automate. Some people might have already used this, right? For those people who are new, this is how we are going to show how to automate this unit test. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is I am creating a new function. Okay, let us say unit test underscore 001. Okay, you might have got test case IDs also, right? So you can have n number of IDs over here. Now I am directly instantiating that object. Now what I want to say, directly call this method but pass the parameters. Because if I need to test it in black box mode, I need to go to this UI to do this testing. Whereas passing thousands of different various parameters is not possible because the data entry takes time. Instead, I come here, I write another method. In that method, I call that class and method which directly adds that. Now, if I say add employee details, right, it is showing me all the parameters. So what are the parameters I need to do? It says start the string employee code. Suppose I pass, I want to add an employee code which is say A102. That's an employee code I want to pass. Then it says the second parameter to that method is employee name. I say Raja. Then the third parameter is the designation. Now I'm going to say for example VP. The fourth parameter is date time. Now I'm saying date time dot now, right? Brackets. I don't think so. Date time dot now means it's the current time. The third thing is it's asking for salary as a parameter. Now I'm saying 2000. Now look at this. What I have done is I literally asked, called this one, right? Now I can say put a message box. Okay. Okay. So I'm adding a message box because it is giving me a string as a return. Then I'm going to show that str msg that is returned by this method, right? So if I execute this method, which is equivalent to adding an employee through the UI. So now I am going to run this one. Okay. Okay. Now I am adding a button here just to show the part to you, and then I'm showing that in that button unit test 001. Okay. So if I click this unit test 001, it should call this method. Simple, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just cutting and pasting that. So effectively, if someone clicks that button, it will execute this one. So I can create cut and paste. If I have 100 unit tests, I can just cut and paste these methods or directly click a button to call all these things. Now let me run this one. Now if I click this employee, add employee, it will add. But if I click this unit test 001, it is going to add a new employee and give me the result back. Now I click this, a return message coming as record insert successfully, right? Now, how do you know the record is added or not? I watch this very carefully. I never entered data in the screen purposefully, correct? But instead I wrote a method which directly adds the data. When I click the button, it inserted. Now let me run it again, right? Run it again. Once you run it again, it will print it. Now when I run it again, look at this. Do you see this A102? Through method, whether I click add employee or not, this method is going to be called. This only a programmer knows. Only when you know the design, you will know that. This A102 is directly added through unit test, correct? When I loaded, it comes to this. What is my advantage here? Look at this. This is the advantage. Now I want to have different parameter combinations for testing. Now I'm going to say this is unit testing 002. In this, I am going to have boundary condition of only one letter for code, name, right? And a salary of just basic lower boundary 1 rupee, right? And I am going to have another unit test which is 003, for which I am going to have, I want to pass a junk method, a hash, which is not allowed. And I am going to pass a salary -1, which is not allowed, right? Right? So if I pass all these things, you will get a different message, right? Now if I give a designation, for example, let us say a designation as PRE, President, okay? I am passing this. Now I am going to say, instead of calling this unit testing 001, call this unit test 003, right? Let me run this again, okay? I just cut and pasted, gave data combinations. That's all. What it helps, in what way it helps? I don't have to go to the UI, enter this data again and again. One day if I prepare this data and then run these things, then it helps me to run them in a single shot. Okay. Now if I click this unit test, look at this. The method is called, it says it failed with some bug, or say insert statement failed. So if a developer also does debugging, he will also get the same thing, right? This is exactly called unit test automation. That means, in simple terms, there is a class that does the job. To test that, I don't need a UI. Directly call the method with permutation combinations of data. What is my advantage? Cut and paste, change the data one time, and I can run all these tests in a single shot. For example, I want to run all the 3 unit tests, right? 1, on the click of the button, run all the unit tests. I can always say 2, 3. Run all the 3 unit tests together. Now I run it. First time it passes a valid data, it inserted the record. Second time it inserted successfully. Third time it failed, right? Now when I run it again, when I say if it loads, now you look at this, it inserted the record, it inserted this record, third record didn't insert, right? Now I know, yes, somewhere this employee code is duplicated. That means my program is not putting the proper primary key constraint. But what is my advantage? How long did I take to run these 4 tests or 3 tests? Less than a minute. Whereas if you do through the UI, you will take at least 10 minutes to run this, or say 5 minutes to run this. What is 10 seconds and what is 5 minutes to run? And I'm asking you to run it tomorrow once again. day after tomorrow you come as a developer, I say run all the unit tests again. Problem. So you copy this data once for all, run it. In terms of that, you minimize the time. You minimize the time. So if I have 1000 unit tests, most of the time the method call is same, the data is the difference. Do it. Running will take less than 10 minutes for almost 100 or 200 tests. This way you can automate unit testing also. How do you like this approach? This is the same concept in CPP unit or J unit or N unit. Any unit testing tools, you do this. You create another class to test some other class. Simple, but pass parameters. Very simple. Now I could see a lot of questions over here. Do we have the recording of these seminars? Yes, we have. We will be uploading through them, right? Then someone is asking, what about multi-threading in profile analysis? Yes. If you run a multi-threaded application, run Java profiler or say AppPerfect profiler, it will show the memory analysis of every single thread. It will do that. Right. Is SoftSmith providing Selenium training? Yes, we do. In fact, 2 weeks back we had a Selenium webinar also. If you want, you can approach our offices in Bangalore and Chennai, or you can send an email to us. Which tool is used to automate Oracle PLSQL? Very simple. If you are clear in the concept, to test one PLSQL function, you write another PLSQL function, call that function with parameters. Very simple. Someone is asking, is modifying a developer code a valid one? No, we are not asking you to modify another developer's code. All I am asking in unit testing is, you run it through Profiler or you run it through automation tools, you report the bug. We are not asking you to modify that code at all. Someone is asking, do we have to use the functions that are already written by developers? Yes. Ultimately, you are testing the code that is written by developers. So you should know the code, you should know the function, you should know the classes. Someone is asking, you have hard-coded the data here. Should I hard-code the data in unit testing? It's up to you. You can either hard-code if it is easy, or you can put it in a file and then read it from the file and then pass it. Either way it is fine. If you have time, you can put it in a file, read it from a file. Else, you can just hard-code, not an issue. Then any plan of webinar on black box testing? Open Mentor already has fundamental concepts of testing. If you see that software testing part 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 recorded parts worth almost like 10 to 12 hours of listening and learning. You can go through that part. Someone is asking, is there any link where we can check upcoming webinars? Yes. The only thing is we also email you. At the same time, go to the Open Mentor almost every week. Please check definitely on Friday and Monday. A new link will appear on the home page of the next webinar. So you can visit you will also get emails. At the same time, you will also have a notification on the Open Mentor home page itself. Is white box testing the first stage of testing? Yes, definitely. It is part of unit testing. All we are asking the developers to do extra job or additional testers who are designated as white box testers. Someone is asking what is the next topic on webinar. It will be announced tomorrow. It will be there on the Open Mentor site by tomorrow. Someone is asking how much time should I give it for unit testing. See, typically in software development we plan for either 30% to 35% for development, coding, right? That includes unit testing. So I would say you should ideally spend 25% on coding and rest 5 to 10% on unit testing alone. Once unit testing and white box testing pass, yes, it need not be a hard stop. You need not wait for white box testing to be over for doing black box testing. But once unit testing is over, you can do black box testing. But parallelly, white box also can go, not an issue. It need not be a hard dependency on each other. Otherwise, it will take more time. Right? Good. So I think we are pretty close to the session. I have got a good amount of feedback. At the same time, I want to stress one thing. SoftSmith is also doing 1,000 users load test. Okay. If your organization really requires performance testing, we are happy to assist you in doing load testing of, for example, say up to 1,000 concurrent users. So if you are on any web application, we are happy to assist you. So we have initiated, we have the tool. You need not buy tool license at all. So you can minimize thousands of dollars and rupees by not purchasing the tools, because we have partnered with Neoload for functional tests or performance testing. So if your organization requires load testing up to 1,000 concurrent users, we are there. Also, we do a free proof of concept. For example, if you are not 100% sure how the performance will be of 100 users for 1 hour for one scenario. So we can do this free proof of concept on performance testing. So if your organization requires that to performance evaluate or performance assess your applications, SoftSmith is there to help. You can send your emails to the regular emails that you are getting from for Open Mentor, or you can send it to murugabi@softsmith.com. So any requirement on QA monitor, any requirement on performance testing, you can send an email to murugabi@softsmith.com. We'll be happy to assist you. And we always help all the small to medium enterprise, because we're not buying tools because of the high price point. So we help them, we assist them. Don't worry that you don't have the testing tool for performance testing up to 1,000 users. You don't have to worry, we are there. That commitment we give. Good. Anything else? Look for the next webinar tomorrow in the Open Mentor homepage. Thanks a lot for participating in this webinar. I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice evening. Bye. And again, our aim is that people should know new concepts. And if you are able to get new concepts very well, we are happy. And learning never ends. Every day is a learning day. Let us enjoy learning. We are happy in terms of mentoring. Thank you.